So this is Brandi Roberts, and I'm talking with Kristin McGee. And Kristin McGee wears a lot of hats, and one that she wears right now is she is a brand new mom. So I want to congratulate her for giving birth to a beautiful, beautiful baby boy. But
Kristin,
thank
you so much.
You're welcome. Can you just kind of tell us a little bit of your story for, my ladies that maybe haven't seen your videos or in the magazines, which you're all over the place. Tell us a little bit about how you got to where you are today.
Absolutely. So I grew up in Pocatello, Idaho, and I was always an active young girl. I have right in the middle of two boys. I'm an older brother and a younger brother. We grew up playing tennis and skiing and hiking and loving the outdoors. And I also grew up in a very musical theater family. So my parents met in a musical at Idaho State University. And when we were growing up, my dad plays the piano and sings, and I was always really into theater, arts, and dancing. So when I graduated Pocatello High School, I moved to New York to pursue my acting career. I always wanted to be a theater actress, and I was going to NYU, Tisch School of the Arts, and I discovered yoga there. I was doing yoga as a warm-up in the morning before acting classes to connect with my breath, and we would often do kind of dance-inspired Pilates and yoga workouts before movement classes, and I absolutely fell in love with it. So I moved to New York to pursue my dream as an actress, and I ended up discovering yoga. And once I graduated school, I ended up certifying to teach, mostly to support my acting career. But the more I taught yoga and Pilates and got my fitness degree and my ACE certification and went and more studying in the physical fitness field, I just loved it so much. And I mostly loved seeing the way people would transform when they connected to their bodies and they used their breath and they were able to just feel great about themselves from the inside out. And I think that's what yoga really did for me. It helped me tap into a deeper place inside myself where all of a sudden I was moving because I wanted to, because it felt good, because I could feel my breath and I could feel everything expanding and myself getting longer and more flexible and stronger. And I ended up shooting an MTV yoga video, which kind of combined my acting skills with my yoga, with my passion for yoga. And after doing the first MTV yoga video, I kind of got this name for myself all of a sudden because I was selling a ton of DVDs and everyone was watching MTV back in those days. And it's ironically, the first DVD I did was with Lori Trespicio, who was on The Real World. Okay. And The Real World was that kind of reality show on MTV. And then years later, I did a yoga DVD with Bethany Frankel, who was the reality star from Real Housewives of New York. So I thought that was kind of funny how it kind of went full circle. But I think just by loving what I was doing so much with yoga and the passion that I had for it really translated. So with acting, I loved it, but I'd go in auditions and I felt like I wasn't always getting the part as much because I would second-guess myself. And with yoga, I never second-guessed myself. It just always felt so natural, and I loved sharing it with people, so I was more confident. I would get into a yoga classroom, and I would just stand at the front of the class and start teaching, and I'd feel super confident. And then I would go sometimes on an audition and not have that same kind of security and that same kind of confidence. And even other areas in life sometimes, when I'm talking to people or asking, like business stuff, sometimes I have a really hard time with, asking for a raise or asking for more, money or things like that from different clients. It's always been difficult for me. But again, the second I start teaching a class or sharing what I love about yoga, Pilates, fitness, I just feel like it's second nature to me and I feel super confident. So after shooting the MTV yoga videos, I did a series of 3 more videos for them. I did a power yoga, a Pilates, and a Pilates mix. And that inspired me to start shooting my own videos. And so I paired up with a company and hired them to shoot my own power yoga video as well as a bendy girl video for young girls, because I feel like the younger you can start connecting to your body and your breath and movement and feel secure in your body. That's what I love about yoga is it never really focuses on the outside as much, like the aesthetics or how you look, but it's how you feel and how connected you can be, how, present you can be with yourself and with others. So I think that's a real gift to give to everyone because it's the first time, you kind of see yourself from the inside out and you're not as judgmental towards yourself.
Right. Yeah, I'm going to jump in here, and that just made me think of something when you said you were introducing it to kids. You know, there's some kids that really don't like competitive sports. And it seems like yoga, you're competing with yourself, and it's a way to stay healthy and stay true to your body and not have that competition side to it that some kids really don't enjoy. That just made me think of that. So
that is 100%, and that's what I love about yoga as well, is it's not competitive. And for kids especially who have so much pressure nowadays in everything they do in academics and in, you know, being the best, you know, having maybe the most Facebook friends, things like that, it's like yoga is the one thing that you're right. It's just for themselves. It's not competitive. Little girls can appreciate what they can do. There's so many different things about the yoga practice. Like some people are really good at arm balances. Some are more flexible and can be stretchy. Some can do balancing poses really well. So you can highlight the things that they are good at, as well as encourage them to be well-rounded and to try and embrace everything about the practice, and also enjoy the things that maybe they're not so good at, and tell them that it's a lifelong practice. They have all their life to learn these things, and that it's going to be with them forever.
Right, and it can definitely carry over. And like you said about the breath work, that carries over. If you're stressed out, you can just take what you learned from yoga and carry it into
if you're at school, if you're at your desk, if you have a test, if having anxiety. I feel like yoga is so great for kids with anxiety. And when you think about when a child cries, they can't catch their breath. So yoga teaches you to, like, slow down your breathing. It helps with that anxious breath. It also helps them connect more to their true feelings. So they're able to, also with eating, they're able to listen to their true hunger cues, know when to stop when they're full. Yoga's been proven to show that people who practice yoga over a series of years tend to maintain a similar weight, because I think that it's not a diet by any means, but it connects you to your body so well that you kind of naturally learn how to manage your own hunger cues, and you're never, telling yourself you can't have something or not. You know, you're able to just eat what you want to, but it's all in kind of moderation, because the whole practice of yoga is about being moderate, about being in balance, about not going to extremes. So,
yeah, absolutely beautiful. That's a really wonderful way to look at it. In your story, you were talking a little bit about kind of the people that you surrounded yourself was really helping escalate your career. And I think it's really important, a message that I kind of send out to people is it's so important to surround yourself with people that, are like-minded and can, help you lift you up, I guess. And I feel like
100%.
You are a true example of that, of just moving to New York and then wanting to do, film and acting, and then moving into health and fitness, and the people around you were like, we need more of your health and fitness message.
That's what I think I loved about the health and fitness world as well. I think with yoga, with acting, as much as I love it, it's got a super competitive aspect to it. So, I'd go in on these modeling calls, like these modeling and acting auditions, and it was so many, none of the girls would look at each other in the room, and no one would talk to each other, and it was like, whoa, it's so intense, and it's really intimidating. And then you walk into the yoga community, or even into any fitness class. I feel like at the gyms, you go to like a Zumba class or a cross-training class, and everyone's talking to each other. Oh, can I get weights for you? Can I do this? It's like the community, women really support each other.
Yeah.
And I love that. And, of course, there's been incredible people, acting teachers and fellow actors and actresses that I've met and worked with who are amazing and very supportive as well. But it's much more difficult because really you are trying to get the part. You have to beat someone out to get the part, to get the role. And what's really encouraging to me was when I got more and more comfortable in my skin and I kept learning to be true to myself, I ended up working with Tina Fey. She was filming Date Night in Manhattan, which is super cool because I knew the director. I had started working with the director doing yoga. When he came to town, he said, I have this leading actress. And I was like, whoa, it's Tina Fey. I love her to death. And she sent me in on a part, to audition for a part for 30 Rock, just this little cameo appearance and I went in there thinking, oh, my gosh, there's no way I'm going to get this part, but I'm just going to have fun. I'm just going to go in. I'm going to have fun. I'm not going to worry about it. And the next thing you know, I got the part. It was the exact opposite mentality that I used to have when I was like, oh, I want this so badly. I have to get this part. And so, and I had the blast doing it too, and it was just a fun little cameo appearance, but I got my acting, I got to do my 15 minutes of fame, after all these years of wanting to be an actress and then giving it up, I actually ended up then getting a part, which was really funny. But so I worked with also people like Tina, who's such a good example, I think, for women to be yourself and to really highlight your strengths, like she's a brilliant writer, she's a super talented actress, she's hilarious, and
I love her.
I love her.
Yeah, and another example of being congruent with yourself and being your authentic self, and magic really does happen. It really does happen. I have one more question for you. And I was wondering if you could think of a time that maybe something really, really scared you, but you were so glad that you got yourself through it and saw the other side. So what's something in your career or your life, that you were afraid to do but knew you had to do it?
That is a very good question. I think probably more than anything would be working with the people I just named. When I first started working with Steve Martin, because you know these people from screen and they're larger than life, and you just think that they're, like, it's hard not to realize that we're pretty much all, we're all humans, we're all on the same level, we're all doing our best in this world, and you kind of put these people above you, right? And so I walked into his house and I kept thinking, I was shaking. I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to teach him a private. He was the first celebrity I ever taught a private to, and he's a huge celebrity. So I was just like, my knees were shaking. I didn't know if I could find my voice, and I just tapped into my breath. Like, okay, I can do this. I just relied on what I knew. I'm a good yoga teacher. I've been doing this for years now, and I love it. So let me just show him what I love. And sure enough, once I got past the, sweaty palms and okay, I can do this, he was no longer Steve Martin. I mean, he still was, but he was just a student that I was teaching. And I was like, okay, he's like any other student, and I know how to teach someone what I love. So being able to just, do that, I thought was pretty, that was really scary moment for me, because it's really hard sometimes to think, and we do this to ourselves often, we kind of diminish ourselves around others because we think, oh, either he's a famous this, or she's got so much money, or he's a, a high-powered banker, things like that. In reality, when you're doing fitness, when you're working out, we're all the same. It's we're in our sweaty clothes, we're moving our bodies, we just want to feel good about ourselves. I love that. I think it's kind of in yoga, there's just kind of this, community that you can have this kind of level playing field. We're all in it together, and we're all just trying to do the best thing for ourselves. So after working with him and realizing that I could actually, hold my own when I'm in the room with someone who's as amazing to me as someone like Steve Martin, was a major accomplishment for me.
Right. Well, I want to congratulate you on all the success that you've had. And I know I have at least 3 or 4 of your DVDs, and they always work me out really, really hard. So for the people that are listening, where can they find you? Where can they find your DVDs? How can they connect with you?
My website is KristinMcGee.com. It's KRISTIN with an I, not an E, MCGEE.com. And then I also have all my videos on Amazon. So they can either find me on Amazon under Kristin McGee or go to my website under KristinMcGee.com. And I have a YouTube channel that I'm actually going to upload a free beginner's yoga class to pretty soon. It's like a 30-minute beginner yoga flow that I just shot. So it's really nice for people who are maybe intimidated to even go into a class to start with. You have these, what I love about today and age is you have the capacity to go online, find a great class, kind of learn some of the poses, not feel like you have to go in totally brand new. And, so that's it.
Perfect. All right. And underneath this recording, I will have your links as well for people. So I want to thank you again for chatting with me, and congrats on that beautiful
Brandi, thank you so much. I love talking to you. Thank you.
Right. Have a great day.
Have a great day. Bye-bye.